Somebody to draw, somebody I. 1 pound Main Street as I coming your way. Ow! Hello, everybody. Donald here. And welcome to 1 pound Main Street. Hope you enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Right Down Main Street. I'm the host of the show, Bryce Waters, and thank you so much for joining me today. This is a Disney World podcast dedicated to bringing a little Disney magic to your daily routine. If you're a new listener, welcome. If you've been here for a while, welcome back. I'm glad to have all of you here listening and just enjoying this fun conversation that we have soon to be every week about this wonderful place of Walt Disney World, filled with magic, joy, all the good stuff. So this week's episode is going to be kind of a top 10. It's actually not 10, top 6. I didn't really want this to be a top whatever list, but as I looked more at it, I was like, it kind of makes sense to put it in a top list. I know I usually do those lists with Allie, but she is not really focused more on the resorts as I am. She's more geared towards the park. And I kind of already gave it away. I'm going to be doing a top 6 resorts that I have not been to that I would love to go to. So basically my top 6 resorts that I want to go to eventually. And it's actually going to matter about the order now. I actually put them in order of least to most. There's a lot of different resorts that I have not stayed in. If I can remember correctly, I can count on my hand how many resorts that I've stayed at on property. I've stayed at the Polynesian, obviously, Contemporary, not French Quarter, but Port Orleans Riverside, and the Dolphin. So only 4. My resort knowledge is very subpar for what I would like it to be. I've mentioned this on past episodes. I have this problem with getting in a routine, or I guess a habit of just going to the same resort every time, because I'll just be honest. It's the Poly. I can't go to Disney without going to the Poly, but I need to get over that, and I know it. I've had people telling me, get over that. Disney has a bunch of different resorts that are so wonderful and magical and cool. And I need to experience those, especially for the Disney fanatic that I am. So, I realize this. I want to experience these different experiences and enjoy my stay at other places. And so I was like, why not make it a show and do a top 6, because there were really 6 resorts out of the many that I have not stayed at. That I wanted to mention where, I want to stay at. I was looking at the list of resorts. I was doing some research on each resort because, like I said, I don't know much about them. I've only been to one of these resorts. I haven't stayed there, but I did go there for a dinner, which I will get to that when we get to that resort. But yeah, I wanted to make this a list and kind of motivate me to, and so that way, if I put it out there for you guys and I make reservations for my next visit, you guys need to scream at me if I make it for the Poly, which I know I won't, but just in case I do, I have a point of weakness. Scream at me. Comment on everything. Blow up my phone. I don't care. Just get me to change it. So without further ado, let's get into my top 6 resorts that I really want to stay at that I haven't. Starting off, now when I say my least favorite, number 6, I mean obviously, because there's other resorts that I'm not going to mention. So this is definitely not me saying it's a not very good resort or anything. It's just these are 6 resorts that look amazing, and this is kind of the order if I could go from 1 to 6 staying there. Anyway, number 6 is the Art of Animation Resort. I believe it is a value resort, and from what I've heard, it is actually one of the top tier if not the top value resort. I've heard so many great things about this, that this isn't really considered a value resort, that it could be considered a moderate, that it has so many amenities, and it's so just beautiful and whimsy, that it could be considered a moderate. Now, for me, what draws me to this resort is the concept of the resort. I was watching a video, and it was interviewing the the top dog of the resort, the top cast member, and he was giving kind of a description of what really this story is, because Disney always has a story with everything, which I love. I was making a face, I didn't mean that. So he was saying that from the moment you get out of your car or wherever you're getting off from, you'll notice this brush stroke over the entryway, and that is kind of giving you the impression that you're going to be walking into an animated movie or walking into the pages of the animations. So when you walk in, you have all of these early sketch drawings of from past Disney movies all over the place. And this is going to kill me, but I forgot what he called the people that check you in, but he didn't, it was, I think he called them animators or something like that. But basically it just propels the story to you're not checking into a room, you're checking into a movie. Your experience at this resort is going to be in this movie, because there's 4 different movies at this resort. And I just think that's such a cool story to tell for a resort. It's so different. I am a huge fan of animation, Disney animation specifically. They have the best animation in movies and cinema history, really. So at least top dollar animation. So, and don't even get me started on Pixar. But yeah, this is just such an interesting take on the resort experience. They designed the rooms based off the movie, the section of the resort you're in, because there's 4 different sections. So like with Nemo, all the walls are blue. There's bubbles everywhere. I believe the lights had bubbles in them as well. Not to mention the big statues throughout the resort of the Disney characters that are in those movies, which I will admit at first it was kind of a factor for me. The statues were. I don't know. I guess I'm too spoiled, but obviously I'll stay at any resort and Disney property if you give me the chance. But me being picky, I don't know. There was something about having those statues at first that I thought could have been a little corny, but after watching the video and doing some research on the resort, I really understand why they put them there, and I think it's very fascinating. So it really just did a 180 in my head. And I get that they're shrinking you down to the size of these characters and having these larger than life statues of these characters, and it's cool photo ops, and looking at all the grounds work and everything for each section is just really cool. Not to mention the pool, the biggest pool at a Disney resort on property. The pool looks cool and everything, but the best part about the pool is the speakers underwater. Now, I didn't know they had that, so that's pretty cool. I've never experienced a pool that has underwater speakers playing music from underneath the surface. So I don't even know how that works. I know sound and water, that's all sciencey and everything. But yeah, that's really interesting. I would love to go in the pool. And they said they were playing music from Disney movies, and also they said they were playing characters. So I'm assuming if you're swimming in the pool, you'll hear like Nemo talking to you, or Crush, or Little Mermaid, I think, is a movie they use on that too. So Ariel and stuff. I think that is so cool, and just a really fun and whimsy resort. So yeah, I would love to stay at this resort. It definitely sparked my interest after really doing some research. Number 5 is Disney's Boardwalk Resort. Now, it's funny, the resort itself isn't really what grasped me. It's actually the setting of the resort, if that makes sense. I am a huge fan of boardwalks in general. I love the feeling you get when walking, oceanside on a boardwalk with, different sweet places open and some like carnival food and some entertainment, maybe some carnival games or something. I think that's super fun. And the fact that they kind of turned that idea into a resort really sparked my interest as well. So reading more into this resort, like I said, it wasn't the rooms or anything. The rooms look nice, but it was really the fact that you're above this boardwalk that has all this entertainment, restaurants, bars. I think it has the ESPN zone and bakeries, sweet shops, like ice cream and everything. I love a place that has just a cool but kind of low-key nightlife to it, where you can just stroll along and maybe have a drink or get some ice cream or have a nice dinner. And this seems like it's right up my alley. Not to mention the performances they have I've seen some videos. It looks very fun. So it looks very lively. It has that kind of atmosphere to it. And I'm sure it's awesome to be able just to go down from your room, around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and just kind of walk along the boardwalk and just enjoy yourself for the night and kind of relax and have fun in that atmosphere. So that's why I want to stay at the boardwalk. It just seems like a lot of fun. All right, so number 4. Number 4 is actually a new resort, the newest resort on Disney property, Disney's Riviera Resort. For some reason, I can't say Riviera. Anyway, Disney's Riviera Resort looks beautiful. It looks so beautiful. I'm a huge fan. I've always wanted to go to Europe and do kind of a trip where I'm just going around to different countries and exploring all that Europe has to offer. And they brought a resort that has, from what I read, more of the French and Italian culture mixed together. And France and Italy are the 2 major countries that I want to go to. So that's just kind of right up my alley. Not to mention, Topolino's Terrace looks really good. I've heard there's a pasta dish that everyone's talking about. I don't know what they're talking about, but there's a pasta dish that everyone's talking about. And they have studio rooms that I've seen a lot of people talking about as well. I know other resorts have studio rooms. I'm not sure what big difference these are to the others, but I did see a video on someone doing kind of a room tour on the studio, and they were saying it is perfect for, maybe a single parent and their child, or a couple or something like that, where you don't need too much space. If you're just going to be there to sleep, wake up, shower, and then leave to go to the parks or just around the resort, then that would be the perfect space for you. But that's kind of for every studio, I feel like. So I didn't see what they were talking about, but or what everyone's saying about these studio rooms, but it does look pretty. Like, the resort rooms look fantastic, and as I've been saying, the decor around the resort just looks fancy, beautiful. And back to Topolino's Terrace, they have the character buffet kind of thing, and that seems pretty fun. You get characters and costumes, I believe, that haven't been shown before. I want to say that I read that the character costumes have never been seen before. They're new, with the French outfits on and everything, or Renaissance. I think it was a Renaissance Mickey, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, but this resort looks beautiful. It's crazy expensive. It's, I believe, one of the most high-priced resorts on property now. I don't know if that's just how nice it is. So it might be a while before I stay there, but if you are going to stay there, please let me know how wonderful it is. And if you don't like it, I would like to know that as well, because that's a lot of money. But yeah, moving on. Next, we have the one resort that I was talking about earlier in the show that I have been to. I just have not stayed there. And that is the Wilderness Lodge. I went to the Wilderness Lodge for the Whispering Canyon Cafe. Just a quick little, I guess, a 5-second review. It was okay. The atmosphere it was very fun. It was a very fun experience, but the food to us just wasn't all that great. I really was just excited for the all-you-can-drink milkshakes. I'm a big milkshake person. And also, if you haven't been there, make sure to ask for the ketchup. Don't look that up. Just do it if you ever go there. But yeah, it was a fun experience. It just, the food, it was okay. Anyway, Wilderness Lodge is a place that I really want to stay at. My grandparents stay there every single time they go to Disney without me, which is a lot. So they have raving reviews about this place, and I've heard nothing but great things about this place, not from them, but from everybody else too. So yeah, just because of what everyone's saying, I would like to be going and staying at this place. But on top of that, from what I've seen and what I saw with my eyes, I love the look of this resort. I love the geyser outside. I didn't get to see it go off. I'm pretty sure it goes off like every hour or something, but I didn't stick around to see it. I should have. But I think that's a cool little extra magic for the resort. I think it definitely gives it more of that outdoorsy feel, especially the pool with all the rocks around the pool and everything, and the river going from the lobby to around the pool area, I think. I don't remember, but I would really love to try the Geyser Grill. I've heard that their burgers are incredible. My grandparents stay at the concierge level, so they get to, get all the food that's included. And they told me that the food at the concierge level is better than the food at the Poly. So we'll see about that. I think the Poly has some pretty good offerings, so I'll take their word for it. I'll try it eventually. But yes, this resort, I love the theming of it. The wood everywhere, the burning fire in the lobby. The lobby is amazing. You can see all the stories from the main lobby, all the animal carvings in the wood. The rooms look amazing. I love the bed frames. Look like they're carved out of a tree or something. But yeah, I really just like going in the lobby and looking up and seeing all the railings and people coming out in and out of their rooms and stuff. It's just a very lively atmosphere, and I really enjoy it. And the smell. The smell is great in that resort. I love the smell of it. So, moving on. Oh, wait, one more thing about that resort that I want to say is they have, I think I read somewhere, they have Walt's train that he had in his backyard in some sort of case in some room. And I really want to see that for my own eyes and take a picture with it, because I admire Walt. I know he loved trains. That was like his thing. And yeah, I would love to see that with my own eyes and be able to take a picture with it. And, yeah. All right, moving on. Now, this one isn't a big, you would think my number 2 spot would be like a huge resort or anything, but this is actually the French Quarter. Why? Because it looks awesome, and I've heard, again, nothing but great things about it. Beignets, that's a yes. Serpent in the pool, that's pretty cool. So that's 2. Iron rod, different colors, very lively, jazzy feeling to it. That was a lot of words. That's a 3. So yeah, this marks all my boxes. I'm a big fan of jazz. I've always wanted to go to New Orleans because that's where jazz was born. So this is, I guess, the closest I can get right now. Well, that's not true. It actually takes me, if I'm driving, it would take me the same amount of time to get to Disney World as it would to New Orleans. But, I digress. Anyway, French Quarter just looks like it has a great fun feeling to it. I love the iron railings. I love the lobby with the huge windows on both sides and the fountain in the middle with, I think, the street signs in there too. Everything about it just screams New Orleans, and I can't wait to go to this resort. And a part of me thinks that I want to go to this resort so bad is just because that's where Allie and I were staying at when we were supposed to go in March, which is a fun fact because I don't know if I mentioned it or not. The week we were supposed to go is actually the week they announced Disney World closing. So that was kind of a heartbreak on our part. We were very excited to go to French Quarter. Like I said, we stayed at Riverside, and it's its sister resort. So, yeah. But, maybe another time we'll get to go. And, yeah, it just seems like a fun resort. That's really it. Just fun. Jazzy. I like it. All right. My number one. Can we get a drum roll? Yeah. All right. That was not a good bit. All right. Number one on my list. Number one is the Animal Kingdom Lodge. Now, why do I want to go to this resort so bad? Because I'm telling you, next time I make a Disney vacation reservation, this will be the resort I'm staying at. Animal Kingdom Lodge looks like breathtaking. I can't think of enough words to describe what I think about this resort. And I have never stepped foot in, around, near it. I have not. Closest I've gotten to this resort is going to Animal Kingdom. I've watched videos. I've seen the dining stuff. I've seen the lobby. And I can't leave out the Savannah View rooms where you can literally wake up, get a cup of coffee, go out on your balcony, and watch a giraffe feed in a tree or a zebra feed on some grass. That, to me, is so awesome. I love animals, and I don't know. There's just something about being able to see these animals that you can't see every day for the entirety of your trip, and you don't have to go anywhere except back to your room. That, to me, is just awesome. It's a great idea. It fits the theming, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It fits the theming of the resort so well. And I'm not saying I want to go there just for the animals, but that's a big factor. I think that's just such a cool idea and such a cool experience. You don't get that anywhere else other than Disney. So, yeah, Animal Kingdom Lodge. I've heard great things about their restaurants, so I would love to try their restaurants. We were supposed to eat at Jico last time when our trip got canceled. Unfortunately, I don't know where I was going with that because I just said it got canceled. Yeah, Jico looked really good. I've heard great things about Sanaa. I've actually heard more things about Sanaa than Jico. I thought Jico was supposed to be better, but I've seen and heard and read otherwise. So, if you've been to both, let me know which one is better because I want to make reservations at the one that is better. I think Jico is more expensive if I'm not mistaken. I think that's why I picked it because, usually the higher price is going to be the more fancy, fine dining, better food, stuff like that. But, if it's Sanaa, I'm totally game for that. But yes, the lobby looks incredible. It's a small detail, but from every picture, video I've seen of this lobby, there's something that is always, I don't want to say, it doesn't, in every video I saw, it was kind of overlooked. And it is a small detail, I'll give them that. But I love how they have a bridge in their lobby with wood and rope just hanging across the top of the lobby. I think it adds character to it. Not to mention all the artifacts and everything from Africa. I don't know the specific countries, but I think that's so cool. And the fact that they say that you can just go up to any cast member, show them something, and say, "Hey, so what is the meaning behind this? Like, why? What does this mean?" And they're able to tell you like that. So I really want to stay at this resort. I kind of got jumbled up in my head when I was thinking about it. I get a little overwhelmed. But yes, this resort seems beautiful. It seems fun. The pool looks cool too. And yeah, that is, I'm sure a lot of people would, I'm sure when I said that, people were like, yes. I know this is a lot of people's favorite resort to go to. And you know what? I don't care that it's completely out of the way. Now, I understand if you have mobility issues and stuff like that. I completely understand, because being on a bus for a long time, 20 minutes or so, it's going to affect your trip. But for me personally, I love riding the buses. I love hearing the music they play on the speakers and the voiceovers and stuff like that. So I love riding the buses, especially late at night when everyone's like dead on the bus and they're just kind of zoning out from a long day in the parks. But yeah, I enjoy riding the buses, so I don't mind being way out of the way. So, plus, it would be my first time getting on the bus and going straight to Animal Kingdom within, 5 minutes. So, yeah, this is a resort that I really want to stay at. My number one resort, like I said, this is going to be the resort that I stay at next trip. I promise you. And when I come back from that trip, which I have no idea when I'm going to go. When I come back for that trip, I'm going to have a full report. I don't know if it's because the resort reminds me a little bit of the Poly or not. All the dark wood and everything, and just kind of the overall theming of it. Even though, Africa, Hawaii, and the Polynesian Islands, they're completely different. But it's, I don't know. I can't explain it. Anyway, yeah, so that is it for this little segment. Let me know. I'm really curious what resorts that you guys have not stayed at that you would really love to stay at. What's the one resort that you've never been to that you've always wanted to go to? And make it your next trip. Do what I'm doing. I'm here to inspire people. Let's inspire each other. Where are you going? I'm going to Animal Kingdom Lodge. Now it's your turn. All right, well, that's it for this segment, and some ending notes, the usual. If you don't, follow me on Instagram, follow the Facebook page, Right Down Main Street, check out the website, rightdownmainstreet.com, yada, yada, yada. Don't want to bore you guys with that. And if you missed the last episode, I made a pretty great announcement that I'm very excited about, is we actually have merch now, Right Down Main Street merch. If you want to check it out, go to my website and then go to the store tab, click the button, and it will take you to teespring.com / Right Down Main Street. I don't know. But it will take you to my store on Teespring. That's the website that I use for my merch. So yeah, if you want to do that, go ahead and check that out. It's also on my Linktree on Instagram. If you go to my bio, click Linktree. It has everything you need right there. It has the link to my Apple Podcasts, my Spotify, YouTube, website, and my merch store. So there's the 411 on all of that. I don't believe I have any other announcements other than I'm very excited. If you missed last episode, I am going to release an episode every Tuesday. I finally got it to where I can make this a scheduled show. Thank God. I felt so bad. I really hated just kind of uploading when I could because I was so busy, but now I actually have like a good schedule, somewhat steady schedule where I can record early in the week or later in the week and then have it out the next week. So yes, every Tuesday I will have an episode out. And in the last episode I said 9 a.m. I'm just going to do it, like around 1 a.m. on Tuesday morning, just because, I would like it to be out when you guys are going on your morning run or going to work, all that stuff, when you need something to listen to in the car or on the run. So, yeah, be on the lookout every Tuesday for a new Right Down Main Street episode. And I think that's all the notes I have. Thank you for staying till the end. And like I said, if you're new to the show, welcome. I appreciate you listening. And if you've been listening for a while, again, I appreciate you guys sticking around. And I hope to see you guys in the next episode. And yeah, hope you guys have a great week. And yeah, I'll see you next week. I'll see you real soon.